Welcome to Moments in Time and Space, a microfiction podcast, bringing you tales of horror and suspense with your host, Aaron Maracle. Hello everyone. Shock and awe is a modern military strategy meant to paralyze the enemy and destroy their will to fight. What if the armies of the past had their own spin on this approach to warfare? Captain Morgan walked through the trench and checked on his men. It was just before dawn, and he could see many of them were nervous about the upcoming battle. That was to be expected given how low the enemy had shown they were willing to go with their tactics. The crisp air captured the vapor from the mouths of the soldiers as they prepared themselves for the signal to charge. He said a few more words of encouragement to the men before he dunked into a bunker. "Captain Morgan, sir," greeted Sergeant Scott, and he stood to salute. "At ease," Captain Morgan said. "What's the word?" "Not good, sir. Intelligence has confirmed that the enemy is using captured assets on the battlefield today. Say about 200 or so at the last count." "Damn it. What's the condition of the assets?" "Assessment is 90% intact on average." Captain Morgan took off his hat and ran his hand through his thinning hair. The intelligence report sounded like a worst-case scenario, and he feared that losses would be significant today. "Anything else of note, Scott?" Captain Morgan asked. "Spies are looking for possible locations where the enemy control center might be, but there have not been any confirmations reported." "Thank you, Scott. I better prepare the men." Captain Morgan left the bunker and took a deep breath. He could almost smell the grime and fear as the cold air stung his lungs. "Soldiers, listen up," barked Captain Morgan. "We'll be going to battle soon, and it will not be easy. We're up against assets that are familiar to us. No matter what you see or feel, we must press on to victory." There were some cheers of agreement from the men, mixed with mumbles of discontent. Captain Morgan ignored them and checked his watch. Noting it would soon be time for the attack, he placed his whistle to his lips and waited. A short while later, 3 shrill blasts rang out from another whistle further down the trench. Captain Morgan blew his whistle 3 times and shouted, "Let's go, men! Charge! To victory!" Soldiers began to climb out of the trench and charge across the battlefield as the first rays of dawn touched the land. Captain Morgan scrambled out of the trench as well and drew his pistol. He urged his men on as they charged towards the enemy lines. Screams of panic and gunfire filled the air as the battle began in earnest. Ahead of him, Captain Morgan saw one of his men standing still. Beyond him, the captain spotted one of the enemy assets staggering towards them. The wretched thing was dressed in a dirty uniform belonging to one of their own, and half of the skin from its face was missing. The creature lumbered towards the soldier in front of him with his arms outstretched. Captain Morgan brought up his pistol and fired 3 quick shots. The head of the undead soldier exploded in a shower of bone and brains before it collapsed in a lifeless pile on the ground. Captain Morgan grabbed the shoulder of the soldier in front of him and shook it. "Snap out of it, soldier! Remember the briefing!" Captain Morgan shouted. That was Archie. He died last week. How? The soldier stammered as he tried to come to grips with what he had seen. "It's an enemy asset, soldier. Nothing more. Shoot them in the head and move on." The soldier nodded his head weakly and began to move forward again. Captain Morgan pushed on and ignored the screams around him as he pressed on towards the enemy line. Hopefully the spies would find the necromancers controlling the undead soldiers, and an airstrike could be called in to eliminate them before the losses grew too high. War is hell on earth. Thank you for listening. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. You can also follow me on Twitter at Moments in TAS. Feel free to recommend this podcast to others and help it grow. The opening and closing theme is Creepy Night by Daniel Carlton. Until next time, be safe, be smart, and be well. See you soon.